Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami daily class.
Yeah,
Maharaj will continue on Srimad Bhagavatam,
yeah, you
Canto
need
3.
to increase your volume a little.
Sorry, Maharaj, is this better?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, Maharaj will continue on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verse 33 and 34, which are the last verses of this chapter.
I
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
told those kirtans in where'd you get those from?
That was Maharaj from Rishikesh this year,
Yeah,
February,
yeah, but where'd you get the videos from?
from YouTube, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hari Hari. Okay.
So, with
Where
your
is it?
permission, Maharaj, I will share the screen.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Over to you, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Varsadindre Vrajam Gopan Bhagnamane TV Valaha Gotra Lila Tapatrena Tatro Bhaga Nugrinata. O sober Vidura, King Indra, his honor having been insulted, poured water incessantly on Vrindavan, and thus the inhabitants of Braj, the land of the cows, were greatly distressed. But the compassionate Lord Krishna saved them from danger with his pastime umbrella, the Govardhan Hill. Here mentions Krishna's saving the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the wrath of Indra. Next verse. Sarach chasi karai mristam manaya rajani mukham gayam kalapatam reme strina mandala mandanaha. Mhm. Translation. In the third season of the year, the Lord enjoyed as the central beauty of the assembly of women by attracting them with his pleasing songs. In the autumn night, brightened by moonshine. Purport. Before leaving the land of the cows, Vrindavan, the Lord pleased his young girlfriends, the transcendental gopis, in his Rasalila pastimes. Here, Uddhava stopped his description of the Lord's activities. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna, Magyantimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya, Chaksuunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale, Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi, Vasyatya De Satarine, Vancha Kalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bevacha, Titanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarindam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, yeah, Krishna had to leave Vrindavan because Kamsa had sent uh, Akrura to bring Krishna to Mathura because he was planning to kill Krishna. And Krishna understood here was an opportunity to kill Kamsa. So, on the plea of going there for political business, Krishna left Vrindavan. saying, I will be back. He tried to please the gopis by giving them a reassurance that he would be back soon. But it wasn't for many, many decades that Krishna came back. And in the meantime, the residents of Vrindavan, feeling the separation of Krishna, were practically on the verge of death, thinking of Krishna, crying they couldn't function, they couldn't do their chores, they couldn't even maintain their own bodies properly because they were simply absorbed in separation from Krishna. Separation from Krishna is considered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to be the highest mood of bhakti. The longing for the lover is even greater than one was when one is present with the lover. That longing causes the emotions to grow even greater, which causes the mind to want more and more that association. But because the separation is there, and there cannot be any meeting, at least for the present time, that those emotions carry one deep into the mood of love for Krishna. That's the highest form of love. That's called Vipralamba Bhav. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha prabhashaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. That virahena me, separation from Govinda, seems like 12 years or more. Each moment is like that. And that separation just endears one to Krishna even more and more. In the material world, separation has a time limit on it. If people have a relationships with each other, and then there is some separation due to their sick situation, that love may also increase. But then again, if there's no meeting after a certain time, we find that people get anxious and they want to fulfill that loving desire. So they usually give up on that relationship or find someone else, or sometimes even go into a state of suffering. But in Krishna consciousness, it's different because Krishna's there in the heart of the devotee when he feels and she feels that separation. So although it appears to be, it is on the external level, the separation is not on the internal level. It's deep within the heart. One is feeling the presence of Krishna in that mood of separation. And Lord Chaitanya exemplifies that mood as the means by which we serve the Lord. We're looking for to come in contact with the Lord through our service. And Krishna may try to please his devotee by coming in contact with the devotee to give them the feeling of his presence, but then he leaves. That is its nature, just to increase that loving relationship in the mood of separation. So, and sometimes it lasts for a long time. What the gopis had to go through was impossible for anyone. They were separated for so many years. Krishna told Radharani, he said, I'll be back. I'll be back. And so she kept that statement in her mind and in her heart. And actually, every day, the gopis, along with other residents of Vrindavan, would go to the outskirts of Vrindavan, waiting for Krishna to come back. But he never came back. And this went on for years. And Radharani, at one time, she said, you're like a hunter who keeps animals, and you have the animals locked in this enclosure, and the animals can't get out. And then you set fire to the enclosure, and the animals are burning in that fire, and they can't get out. She said, I'm like that. I'm burning in the fire of separation from you, but you have locked the door with the words, I will be back. So I cannot leave my body I mean, she wants to, and the separation is so great. But she's thinking that Krishna is going to come back, but when? Of course, he did come back after some time, and then he left again. He came back once or twice during his lifetime, just to please the gopis and just to give them association. He sent Uddhava there to also to read some of the prayer, not prayers, but messages that he was feeling towards the gopis. But the gopis couldn't get into it, especially Radharani. It's called Song of something. Uh, can't remember Song and Separation. Anyway, it's a very dear part of the Bhagavatam. Radharani's hearing about Krishna's love for her as he writes about it and gives his writings to Uddhava, who is reading it to Radharani. Radharani is not happy. She wants Krishna, not some message. So it's a very song of the something. It's a whole chapter called Song of Something. It's very sweet, really deep. Yeah, it's Brahma. It's the Brahmar Gita. Yeah, that's what it's called, Brahmar Gita. Hmm. So yeah, so Krishna, although he assured them, still they never forgot him, and they were always. And at one time, they even left to meet Krishna at Kurukshetra during the when he was dressed as a prince with armor and soldiers and military all around him. Still, when the gopis came, they couldn't feel that same happiness they had when he was within Vrindavan. So Radharani, she's expressing that love by speaking that here, I am the same boy and you're the same, I'm the same girl and you're the same boy, and everything is here, but it's not, but I don't feel the same happiness. Please come back to Vrindavan because they only want to know Vrindavan Krishna. They're not interested in Mathura Krishna or Dwarka Krishna, where he takes on different moods as a soldier, as a king. They want that simple cowherd boy who plays on his flute, attracts the hearts of everyone. So Krishna is very expert at increasing love through the mood of separation. And he does that even with his devotees. This is the final verse in this particular chapter describing how Krishna pacifies, at least for a time being. And he performs his Rasa Lila pastimes. Actually, he performs Rasa Lila every night, but 2 times a year in the Sarat season and in the Vashant season, springtime and fall time. He's Maharasa Lila, where thousands of gopis perform pastimes with dancing with Krishna. And that's described in the 10th canto in Srimad Bhagavatam in details, more details than here anyway. And that's the king of all of Krishna's pastimes. Out of all of the pastimes he performs, the Rasa Lila is the most charming and most deep in loving service, very intimate. How Krishna is so intimately connected with the gopis in singing, dancing, and in various types of spiritual gestures that endear each one to each other. Mm-hmm. Well, that's Krishna and his Leelas. So he left the cows, he left Vrindavan, but he pleased everyone, at least for the time being. After it says here, and this the last line here, Uddhava stops his descriptions of the Lord's activities. Why did he stop? He went into too much ecstasy, just remembering the Lord, speaking about the Lord. His heart became so full that he couldn't speak anymore. So that's one of the symptoms of ecstasy, where one either thinks about the Lord or speaks about the Lord, and then one becomes so overwhelmed they fall silent. And all they can do is meditate on Krishna within their heart and mind. Can't speak anything. This is what's happening to Uddhava here. Very sweet. Let's go on to the next chapter. We can start with verse number 1 and see if it continues in this same vein here. Here, Uddhava Uvacha Tatasa Agya Puram Tatasa Agya Puramam Sapetros Chikir Saya Sambaladeva Samyutaha Nipatya Tungam Ripuyutanatam Hatam Vakarsan Vasum Ojasarvyam. Let's see. Sri Uddhava said, thereafter Lord Krishna went to Mathura city with Baladev, and to please their parents, they dragged Kamsa, the leader of the public enemies, down from his throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Purport. King Kamsa's death is only briefly described here because such pastimes are vividly and elaborately described in the 10th canto. The Lord proved to be worthy son of his parents, even at the age of 16 years old. Both brothers, Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev, went to Mathura from Vrindavan and killed their maternal uncle who had been given so much trouble to their parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. Kamsa was a great giant, and Vasudeva and Devaki never thought that Krishna and Balarama would be able to kill such a great and strong enemy. When the two brothers attacked Kamsa on the throne, their parents feared that now Kamsa would finally get the opportunity to kill their sons, whom they had hidden for so long in the house of Nanda Maharaj. The parents of the Lord, due to parental affection, felt extreme danger, and they almost fainted. Just to convince them that they had actually killed Kamsa, Krishna Balaram pulled Kamsa's dead body along the ground to encourage them. Of course, in other places it says that many of the demons that Krishna killed, Krishna does it smiling with great joy. But when he killed Kamsa, he was really angry because he was thinking about how Kamsa had caused so much uh, distress to Devaki and Vasudeva by killing their children, and how he had also killed so many others. So, yeah, this is mentioned that Krishna was punching him over and over until he actually lost his life. And Kamsa was powerful. Kamsa had subdued all of these other demons that we read about that came to Vrindavan to kill Krishna. He did that in order to get them to submit to him, and then use them to try to kill Krishna and Balaram. But of course, no one can kill the Supreme Lord, because the Lord is the source of life, and he is also the means by which people die. Death is his servant. No one can kill him. Although he appears in this material world, he still appears in the same transcendental body, which is completely Satchitananda Vigraha, full of knowledge and bliss. He doesn't come in a material body, although people who see him may think in that way. But those who actually have devotion for Krishna understand that Krishna never appears in a material body. So there's no question that him being destroyed. But as it says here, due to parental affection, they almost fainted. And that means their love for Krishna was so much that they felt, now Krishna is finished, and they almost fainted. But Krishna didn't waste time with Kamsa. He dragged him from the dais and then started pummeling him with his fists, and then he dragged him just to show them. Of course, he was also, Krishna was angry. Usually he doesn't get angry when he kills the demons. He has a lot of fun, because the demons get liberation and they also get free from their demoniac mentality. But Kamsa was such a uh, scourge upon others, such a personality that caused so much harm to others that Krishna was really angry. What's interesting here. But still, he should, just to assure his parents, he performed an act in that way, just to let them know you have no worry about this demon anymore. And then he established Ugrasena on the throne. And then when he wanted to leave and go back to Vrindavan, um, it was actually Devaki and Vasudeva and others. They came to Krishna and said, the enemies or the followers of Kamsa, they're going to give us so much trouble. We don't have any protection here. You're going to have to stay here and protect us. And Krishna did. He stayed to make sure that Ugrasena wouldn't have any competition after he took the throne. And Krishna stood for a long time, but he was always thinking of Vrindavan. He didn't get to go back until many, many years later. So Krishna becomes very much inclined to serve his devotees when devotees find themselves in danger. Okay, these are some things we can think about. These pastimes are so deep in Krishna's mood of how he likes to please his devotees and perform his activities, pravitranaya sadunam vanasanaya chaduskritam, in order to rid the world of demoniac forces. That's one of the reasons why he comes. It's not the main reason, as Srila Prabhupada would often say. Krishna doesn't have to come to kill the demons. He can arrange for some material calamity, and so many thousands of demons will be killed. But he came to perform his pastimes in Vrindavan with his intimate associates. Therefore, another name for Krishna is called Leela Purushottam. He enjoys performing his pastimes with his devotees in different relationships, as a lover, as a son, as a friend, like that. That's Krishna. So Krishna is so sweet and he's so available to his devotees. Devotees love Krishna so much for not only because he is so wonderful, but because how he takes care of his devotees amazingly. Of course, that's secondary, but still, devotees never feel any danger when Krishna is around. Of course, it says here Vasudeva and Devaki did feel danger because they didn't know that their son was Krishna. Actually, they did know, but their parental mood overshadowed their memory, and now they were thinking Krishna is going to be finished. So this is the intensity of that rasa. They can only think of Krishna as their son. They can't see him as in any other way. Okay, so we could stop here and open it up for some discussion.
Thank you, Maharaj, for such beautiful and sweet pastimes of Lord. Govardhan Lila, Gopij, separations, Uddhav meeting, and also killing of Kamsa. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realization, request devotee to raise your hand and don't wait for the last moment. Please try to raise. And if you have any questions which you can't raise or you can't speak, then you type in chat window. I will try to speak on your behalf. Also, my humble request to all the devotees, if you can please switch on your video, uh, at least if 25 devotees Maharaj can see on the video.
We're getting there. We're up to 13. Let's see how we can do. We got 12 more for the 14. Let's see. Keep going. 16. Okay. The numbers are increasing. Now we got 19. 6 more to go. Plus, if you want to go even farther. 19, come on, Kalakanti, you're coming. You're in a dark room. Okay. 20. Looks like we got stuck at 20.
Wake up, devotees, wake up. Jiva jago, jiva jago.
How many do we have online? We have 35 online.
Yes,
So
35.
20, 21, 21 cameras and 14 somewhere else. Anjali, thank you. Suma, oh, now,
Jai,
now they're popping in. Okay. Everybody's so shy.
Jai. Very nice. Thank you. Daria Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. So I was wondering when you mentioned that Radharani and Krishna met, reunited at Mathura, you said that even though they have the same, I don't really remember, the same body, it's not really the same. So I was wondering, why does the relationship change between them? If Krishna has a different position, shouldn't it be more like on a spiritual level?
So you have a husband, and sometimes he's with you and you're exchanging very loving words, and sometimes he's out there in the workforce and he's arguing with other people. His mood is different. And Krishna was surrounded by chariots and horses. The whole mood was different. She didn't give up on Krishna. She just was, she offers a beautiful prayer. These are the same moonlit nights of the season of Sarat. I am the same Radharani and you are the same Krishna, but I'm not feeling the same happiness. So please come back and play the fifth note on your flute. That's the paraphrase of the verse that she spoke. Yeah, so the mood is there. Wasn't there because of the Vrindavan creates a certain mood, and Krishna in Vrindavan is the supreme lovable object. Her love doesn't change, but it just becomes less overt.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Uh, by the time devotee asks any question, Maharaj, I have one question. You mentioned that Krishna went back to Vrindavan after leaving to Mathura 1 or 2 times. Uh, did that happen, Maharaj? Like when did that happen? Because I thought he met with Gopis and Radharani only in Kurukshetra after leaving during solar
Yeah.
eclipse.
Yeah, but right after he killed Dantavarka, he came back also. That's after he just established the Dwarka city. One other time after he killed Duncan. So there's 2 times that I know of. But that he
Thank,
didn't come back when they went to Kurukshetra. They did. They came to Kurukshetra.
thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan Chaitanya Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere. Guru Maharaj, something interesting happened yesterday. I was listening to a lecture at my temple by one of the local monks, and he played a video of you. So I'm hearing you in third person in another YouTube video, Zoom lecture. And in this, you are mentioning how Prabhupada had come to New Vrindavan when you guys were there, and he asked all of you very seriously, without any hint of sarcasm or anything, to sleep 1 hour a day. So, can you talk about sleep, Maharaj?
That was on video?
Yes, there is a clip, YouTube clip that he played, and you, I think it was just audio. I think your face was there, but it wasn't like video. And it was an audio clip where you were talking about that. It was very clearly you, Maharaj. Yeah. Did this happen? Yeah.
I know one thing I knew, I can
Yeah.
remember now that you mention it. Prabhupada said, "You're here in New Vrindavan, you have all the ingredients
Yes, you were saying that. Yes.
fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. You can actually give up sleeping," he said.
Yes, yes.
I think he did say 1 hour, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike the Goswamis.
Yeah. So and then in that clip you were also explaining how sleep is a waste of time.
Big waste of time.
Mhm.
Yeah, because sleep is categorized as another type of death. When you're sleeping, you're dead. Temporary death. So the great souls, as they progress in Krishna consciousness, they reduce their eating and their sleeping.
It is also a lost opportunity.
But Vrindavan had all of the ingredients. To do it in the cities might have been difficult. The atmosphere was pure, at least within the compound of Vrindavan, because all we had was devotees and deities and cows and service.
Yeah.
Rasavilasni Radha Mataji has shared that video clip. If
Oh
you want to look
yeah.
at.
I was sleeping 4 hours a night when I was there.
Yeah. Mhm.
But the problem was we were still eating, and if you eat, you sleep. If you want to reduce your sleeping, you have to reduce your eating.
Mhm.
Because sleeping influences eating. I mean, eating influences sleeping. So the more you eat, the more likely you will to sleep.
Mhm.
That's up to a certain point. But the Goswamis, they had no time to eat or sleep because they were so busy in Krishna consciousness. So that was, yeah,
Wow.
they forgot about these things. It just, it's not that their bodies were transcendentally empowered to do it. They just they didn't think of eating and sleeping. They was absorbed in service.
They had their priorities straight.
Well, then it's when you get absorbed in service, you can forget about everything. That's not, anyone can do that. But then someone reminds you, oh, Prashadam, you say, oh, okay. But then, but if nobody reminds you, then you're good.
Amazing, Maharaj.
I mean, even in the material world, people will go without sleep for long periods of time, sometimes for days, sometimes.
Mhm.
I mean, a couple of nights ago, I slept 2 hours. 2 nights in a row, I slept 2 hours and 2.5 hours. But then when I traveled, I left Mayapur and I traveled to Delhi. That traveling threw my whole cycle off.
Mhm.
Then I needed more rest when I
Yeah.
landed. When I was in Mayapur, it was easy.
So it makes sense. It makes sense what you were saying earlier, that where you were, the conditions were perfect for Leslie. Yeah.
Yeah,
New
travel.
Vrindavan. Mhm.
Yeah. is pure.
Mhm. Amazing, Maharaj.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Prabhu.
Thank you so
Shiva,
much.
Shiva
Everyone
Prabhu.
should think, everyone should think, let me eat less, let me sleep less. Let me use more time. Can't do it artificially. You have to do it in relationship to your absorption in Krishna consciousness. But if you get absorbed in something, then you can forget about these things. It happens automatically. You're in kirtan and you forget. You just go just hours and hours of kirtan.
Yes, Maharaj.
You're painting a picture and you get so absorbed in doing the work, you're just thinking, there's nothing else but me in the picture right now.
True, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maybe for Amritanam Mataji, not for me, Mataji. For the painting.
Well, if you think about how much money I can make, you forget about sleeping and eating.
It is a medical condition, Maharaj.
It's not so good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's politicians who spend time campaigning so much that they want to do as much campaigning to get themselves situated. They forget, they cut down on their eating and sleeping. It happens automatically.
Yes, all ambitious people, they sleep less, even in the
Yeah.
material world. Yeah.
Prabhupada said all intelligent people sleep less.
Ah.
We should sleep according to what we need, but we shouldn't like the idea of sleeping. It's the
Mhm.
idea that we shouldn't think, oh, now I'm going to enjoy.
I shall rest.
Being ignorant, that's all.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it also mentions in the Bhagavatam that the residents of Vrindavan, they would go to sleep at night and they would be dreaming about Krishna through the whole night. So what you do during the day will affect your experience in sleeping
Mm.
about the night.
Yes, Maharaj. So absorption in the morning is what you're going to do. So it's important to be Krishna conscious always.
Yeah. The Lord Chaitanya's devotees, they didn't sleep much when they ate a lot, though. If we eat a lot, then we might wind up sleeping too much. The idea is take prasadam and then stay engaged. So here's the formula. You chant, you start chanting, and then you get really absorbed in the chanting. Then as you're chanting, you're starting to feel more happy. And then that happiness turns into a dance, and then you start dancing, and then you're dancing for a while. Then you get tired after a while, and then you take a little prasadam, and then you go back to chanting again. Same cycle. Chant, dance, little prasad, and then you just keep going, and then you keep going until the end of life, and you're back to Godhead.
Amazing, Maharaj.
That's the statement in Shastra. That's
Yes.
chant, dance, prasad, chant, dance, prasad.
Yes.
But well, I mean, Prabhupada said chant, dance, take a little rest, and then take some prasadam, and then again. He didn't say sleep. He said he used to Prabhupada called it snap. The word nap is there, but he used to say snap, which means short nap.
Oh, snap. A cat nap. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Amazing, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Shiva Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, speaking of this absorption, Maharaj, I had this question. In when we are in the process of Vaidhi Bhakti, Maharaj, is there significant difference from a devotee who is in the mood of Vatsalya or Madhurya versus someone who is in the mood of Dasya Bhava, Maharaj?
Oh, there's three. I don't see where the word Vaidhi Bhakti fits into that.
Hmm.
Doesn't. So, no, any of the rasas, one can get absorbed in it. The
Hmm.
rasas are on the spontaneous platform. They're not in Vaidhi Bhakti.
Hmm.
When you're actually in the rasa, it's spontaneous.
Okay. Okay.
When you're worshiping Krishna in a particular way, you're thinking about him in that way, you're serving those devotees who also serve Krishna in that way. You center your whole consciousness around Krishna in that activity.
Hmm.
It comes natural. As a young mother cannot think of her child, stop thinking about her child. So the devotee cannot stop thinking about Krishna.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So, Maharaj, am I understanding correct that the rasa has not much of relevance when we are in the stage of Vaidhi Bhakti, Maharaj? Is that what you are saying?
That has to develop. Usually the rasas are on the spontaneous platform.
Okay.
You may
Okay.
get an inkling of what the rasa is in the Vaidhi Bhakti stage, but you can't really stay fixed in that.
Hmm.
These inklings come also.
Hmm. Okay.
But they become developed in the higher stages of bhakti.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Serves Krishna in a certain mood by serving actually one of the eternal associates of Krishna in that same mood.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to serve Krishna as a friend, then you serve one of Krishna's intimate friends like Subal, Sudam, Ujjwala, Kinkini, all of the Vasudev, Devavrata, so many names, so many cowherd boys.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can enter into that mood of serving Krishna in that as a friend.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
You have to
Hmm.
practice that.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
practice it in the early stages, but it develops on the later stages.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So, Maharaj, just one follow-up question, Maharaj, if I may. So, if some devotees show more interest in hearing, reading uh, the pastimes of Krishna with gopis and things like that, how do we understand, Maharaj? Is that not a mix? They are trying to kind of exhibit some rasa in their Vaidhi Bhakti itself, or
I'm not sure I understand the question.
like if some devotees, Maharaj, if they show more interest or inclination in hearing the pastimes or relishing the pastimes of Krishna with gopis, for example. Uh,
That may be an indication, yeah.
mm,
Yeah. That's how we actually develop in that way by connecting with one of the different types of pastimes of Krishna and focusing on that one.
mm,
But you see, Lord Chaitanya, what did he focus on? Madhurya Lila.
mm,
So you get a lot of pastimes of Krishna and the gopis. You get also the cowherd boys are there,
mm,
the Bhagavatam.
mm,
But books by the Goswamis are mostly by Madhurya Ras, because the
mm,
Goswamis are in Madhurya Vas.
mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Manoj. Thanks.
Thank you, Prabhu. Amritnam Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, my question was related to traveling. Usually, sadhakas like us, the traveling, the schedule of sadhana always get disturbed. But I always wonder how you are always traveling and still you can manage your sadhana schedule. But it's always a tough thing for me, at least. Um, Whenever travel is there, my sadhana is, I'm fluctuating always. So how can I help myself in that?
Well, you have to push other things aside. Even when you travel, you have to keep your sadhana first in the morning. So even if that means you push back breakfast a little bit later, get up a little bit earlier. Sadhana is the basis, sadhana is the foundation. Chanting of the holy name is the basis by which we make advancement in our Krishna consciousness. So when you know that, and when you develop a taste for chanting, then you chant as much as you can, but you always keep chanting primary in your early part of the day. So that's the one thing I do, but sometimes other things get thrown up in the air. I might do different services at different times. I might take prasadam at different times. Like this morning, I had breakfast at 11:30. Could you believe that? And I had lunch at 4:30. So it worked fine because I finished all my rounds. I got a lot of services done. But when I go back to my normal schedule, I'll have breakfast like 8 o'clock and lunch about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
So you prioritize your sadhana and services first before your material needs. Whatever is
Yeah,
there.
eating, I don't worry about eating. It'll be there. You can always eat. And
Guru Maharaj,
hunger is a state of mind. We were discussing that the other day. That people say, I'm hungry. Forget about it. If you forget about it, it goes away. It might come back once in a while, and then you said just forget about it. But you have to keep yourself busy, otherwise the power of that urge may keep pushing. So if you're too busy, well, yeah, the Goswamis were too busy to eat. Like that. So when I think of eating in rounds, I think rounds are more important. Do that. Do that the same way. You can do it.
yes.
But if it
Eating and
impinges,
sleeping both not important.
say again.
Eating and sleeping both are not important in our spiritual life. Whether that is opposite in when we are like more influenced by Maya.
Prabhupada said when he was towards the end of his life, he said, I can't eat, I'm not sleeping, no question of mating or defending, I'm liberated. Prabhupada said that. So, I mean, we've been eating every day for the last 4 billion years. So, of course, we like prasadam. That's nice. I like sometimes when I have to eat and the cook can't cook at all, and I'm thinking this is good, a good chance to renounce. Some people get upset. I just think, oh, this is special mercy. I don't have to eat. So that's why I love to be over with Sri Devi cooks. You see,
was going to ask Maharaj.
Sounds very good. That's like,
I was just thinking that, Guru Maharaj.
no, that I picked up on your consciousness. So yeah, it's like that. So, but if we don't put chanting as a priority in our life, we won't really understand this movement at all. I mean,
Yes,
I've seen devotees when they put their rounds first, they change, become more enthusiastic, more efficient, everything. And there's a sense of satisfaction that comes when you fulfill the desire of the spiritual master by chanting 16 rounds. Prabhupada also said that. He said, if you haven't finished your 16 rounds, you should know that any moment you can be victimized by Maya. Because when you finish your 16 rounds, you're actually pleasing the spiritual master, because that's why you promised to chant 16 rounds every day. And so you kept your promise that pleases the spiritual master, and the mercy is more available. But we shouldn't rush. It's not that we would try to finish them as soon as we can. No, you should put quality into your rounds. That's more important. Put attention into your rounds. That's more important.
yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the tips you gave. I'll surely try to implement. Thank you very much.
Don't do it at the expense of your health, though. The key is to go to rest early. I find I'm out on the program preaching at night. There's no need to stay up late. Take rest. And during the COVID time, I was taking rest every day at 9:15 in the evening. Between, I think, 9:15, 9:30 was the latest every day. And it was nice. I was not only able to chant my rounds early, but I had more time during the day to chant more rounds.
Yes, Kumar, even Ayurveda says that 9 to 12, this period of time, if you sleep, then it is like 1 hour is equal to 2x. So
Right.
you almost complete your entire sleep in 9 to 12 if you cover that time. So I am also trying, Guru Maharaj, but I'm not able to, since the Grihastha schedule. I don't want to blame anybody for that, but I'm trying for 9 to 12. Yes, definitely.
That's a tough one, but if you can do it, it's good.
Yes, Guru
I
Maharaj.
like 10 to 2. That's my. I like 9 to 9 to 2 or 9 to 2:30, something like that. That's a full night. And then when you get up that early, nobody's alive, so it's so peaceful. You could just focus. The mind is pretty much quiet, at least for a while, until you start chanting, then it starts yelling at you. But then,
No, Guru Maharaj, totally agree. That is the idealist time. I think even I have noticed that idealist time. You finish all your sadhana if you are in this time period.
yeah, it's nice. I've seen
Yeah.
people change their character drastically. And some gurus actually emphasize that they make it almost an instruction to their disciples, chant 16 rounds before breakfast. You'll see the difference. doesn't mean you don't chant throughout the day. You can chant anytime during the day just by chanting. But you don't have to think, oh my God, I still have this many rounds, I have this many rounds, and I have this to do. I'll have to find time later. And then when that later comes, something else comes up.
Yes, Maharaj. Even if it's sleeping, this time becomes an austerity for at least grihasthas. But yes,
Yeah.
we need to do that. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So we are close to an hour, Maharaj. Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. As this discussion of reduced eating and sleeping was going on, I was remembering His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, how little he would eat and how little he would sleep. Contemporaries would say that Maharaj, even at feasts, festivals, all he would eat is just some carrots and some nuts, and he would be on to the next project or the next preaching program or the next book distribution event or whatever. And everybody else would be sitting around and enjoying a nice big feast, but Maharaj wouldn't be bothered about that. And his sleeping was also reduced to bare minimum. He would wake up at 1 or 1:32 in the morning, and he would chant 42 rounds every day.
Yeah.
So he had a very rigorous schedule, and just wanted to share that about Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah, I spent time with him. I was able to witness his enthusiasm. It was really catchy.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji. So Maharaj, there is one question from Shiva Prabhu in the chat. He's asking, kindly clarify if we can mark the books, example, underlining for the inspiring points in the purpose for repeat reading.
If you want my opinion, don't do it. If you want to underline, you have to underline the whole book because every word is transcendently fully powered with unlimited knowledge. You might like some statements that stand out. Very good. Take a computer and type it into a text and keep that file there and add to it. But don't mark up the book, especially Bhagavatam. When somebody hands me a Bhagavatam with markings on it, I say, please give me one without it. I don't like the idea. It shouldn't be marked up. Everything is important. And if you try to read someone's Bhagavatam when they're markings, you're just going to focus on what they saw. You might miss other things that might be interesting just because of the underlining. Yeah, I never liked it, and I don't think I'll ever will. I don't think it's necessary. Type it up or take a pencil and write something down. Bhagavatam is Krishna. You don't need to put some tinsel on Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, similar question was asked very recently by one devotee with one Maharaj, and he said that if devotee would like to mark anything, they can do this if they keep a personal copy but keep a separate copy which is completely unmarked.
No, I don't like that either.
Okay, sure, Maharaj.
No writing in the books. I just think the Bhagavatam is too sacred to write into it and underline it like that. We have a question here. We have Raj. Raj is here.
Sure, Maharaj.
Show your face, Raj. Go ahead, let everybody see you. There he is. We had lunch together today.
Haribol!
Haribol.
So happy he did it. So happy. He was longing for that. Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. You got the mercy.
Haribol.
Thank you. All glories to the
Yeah.
devotees. And,
Yeah.
my
He has been visible the whole time over your left shoulder, Maharaj, with his smiling face. Yeah.
Yeah, it made me look good.
Maharaj, my question is about absorption. So when we are in these farm communities or we are in close association of devotees like you, we're naturally very absorbed. We eat less, sleep less. But then it is my practical experience that when you're going through that absorption, suddenly the thought come, oh, I need to get back. I need to work on my things. I need to go back to Delhi and maybe do whatever work I have to do. Or I have to make make things for myself. How do we get out of that mentality?
Well, well, that's a question that can be answered in different ways. We're not impractical, but at the same time, we want to emphasize our spiritual life. So if you neglect your material life for your spiritual life, you don't lose anything. But if you neglect your spiritual life for the material life, then you lose both. So the idea is to proportion your time in terms of the act and the hours you spend. Try to increase the quality and, whenever you can, the quantity of your spiritual life, and decrease your basic activities outside unless there is a requirement. In other words, when it comes to personal needs, try to keep your life simple. So time is not, consumed. Unnecessary amount of time is consumed to do the basic needs that we have to do. We have to work, and then we do our work, but still, we should be thinking while I'm doing my work, when can I go to Krishna? When can I associate with the devotees? When can I actually, take part in the kirtans? We should be hankering for our spiritual life when we're doing for our material activities. That keeps our consciousness in the right mood. So, yeah, certain things in material life you can't just dispense with and think it's okay. There's certain responsibilities there. But don't become too responsible materially and then minimize your spiritual life. That's the point. Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. And as we get older, we want to keep increasing our spiritual life and decreasing our material responsibilities. To the point of nil. You can live like a king, or you can live like a pauper, or you can live in a more natural, normal way. So you can choose your lifestyle. Time is important. How much time you give to Krishna will make a difference in how much mercy you receive from Krishna, and how much that mercy will inspire you in devotional service. We have to develop a taste for devotional service. The taste comes through sadhana. And then when that taste comes, any services we do is nice. We enjoy it. We want to do more. Even if it's simple, still, because it's for Krishna, because it's for pushing on Krishna consciousness, it's nice. Sweeping the floor. We would always say, cleaning the temple means cleaning your heart. Is that all right? Simple living.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. We don't have any questions. We don't have any hands raised, Maharaj. And it's 10 minutes over the hour. Should we close the call with your permission, please?
Good now. This is our allotted time. Usually we allow for 15 minutes over the call, and that's about it. So
Yeah. But any devotee, any last minute questions? Any? Yes, Mataji. Kalakanti Mataji, please go ahead.
she's going to type it or speak it.
You're on mute, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Laksamambala Bensa Logesha Prabhupada. I just want to ask you one question. Like, suppose in the morning when I have dressing for the deities, can you hear me?
Keep going.
Sometimes it's not always possible that I can get up very early to chant. So, what is your?
Well, deity worship is something you can't sideline. You have to stay at the schedule the deities are. If you can get up earlier and chant your rounds before then, or most of them, that's good. So I know pujaris say you would get up at 2, they chant a lot of their rounds, and then they start preparing for their deities. In fact, we used to have a rule when I was in the New Vrindavan community. If you couldn't go on the altar unless you had 8 rounds done. No one would be allowed on the altar with anything less than 8 rounds. So yeah, spend some quality time chanting before. If you can do all of it, that's the best. If you can't, at least try to get from 10 to 12 rounds done before you go on the altar. Because it also helps you in your deity worship.
Yes, but sometimes I have the evening dressing. Then I'm like, by the time I go to bed, like it will be like after 10, like 10:30, because I finish by 9. So sometimes it get difficult if I have an evening dressing and then I have the morning one.
Well, if you can avoid that schedule where you have, when you have your evening, you don't have the next morning. And when you have the morning, then you can focus.
I mean, it's I don't have dressing very often, so it's just like once a week. So it's always for like on the Wednesday night and then the Thursday morning.
Well, that's all right. That's once a week.
I should still get up very early and chant.
Yeah, well, do something during the day. Take a little rest during the day. That way you can cut down on your rest in the evening.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Really.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much for this next in class. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Anand Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you, Vrindavanath Prabhu.